Hello, everybody. This is about the website called medicalmastery.co.in. Once you subscribe into it, you will get access to this world class curriculum library of each of all the 19 subjects, except for the 5 subjects that we have not launched yet. Once you are interested in any subjects, you just open it. You'll get access to the entire subjects and its classification, for example, histology, embryology, thorax, abdomen, pelvis and perineum, and you can choose any topic: the vertebral canal, meninges and vertebral venous plexus. For example, I want to read this. I'm just opening it. The window appears in front of me. The questions and answer format here on the left side. Trace the extent of vertebral canal and describe how it is shaped and calipered vary from the cervical to the sacral region. And the candidate's answer to this question is right below it. Similarly, you get to meet every similar topic and related questions into it. Here you can expand into other topics and enter variety of topics. Similarly, you can go to different subjects as well, where you get to enter into that subject library immediately, and you get to see the subtopics of that particular subjects. You can just open and play it.
Welcome to the Obstetrics and Gynecology Compendium. Today's Viva Station: anemia and the hematological disorders of pregnancy, iron deficiency anemia and its treatment including
Oral iron is the first-line treatment. In the UK, the British Society, the infusion carries a small risk of hype, so intravenous iron is for oral failure, intolerance or late presentation, avoided in, so intravenous iron is for oral failure, intolerance or late presentation, so intravenous iron is for oral failure, intolerance. So intravenous iron is for oral failure, intolerance or late presentation, avoided in the first.
And you can go to various subjects and its video format.
Welcome back to the microbiology.
The pivot is the pivotal branch point. Under respiratory conditions it is fed onward into the tract. The pyruvate is the pivotal branch point. Under respiratory conditions it is fed onward into the tricarboxylic acid cycle for complete oxidation, whereas under fermentative conditions it is reduced.
You have twice contrasted respiration with fermentation. What is fermentation?
What is fermentation, and how does it differ from respiration?
Fermentation is an energy-yielding process in which the breakdown of a substrate proceeds without any external electron acceptor and without an electron transport chain. The essential problem any cell faces is this.
So I hope you understood. Let's look into the topics. For example, if you go to general medicine, you have 237 stations in it. It includes the basic clinical, therapeutics and pharmacology, cardiovascular physiology, respiratory physiology and all the basic physiology, hematology, neuroscience, laboratory medicine, statistics, clinical approach. Finally, we are going into the core department or segment wise subjects like respiratory, cardio, GI, nephrology and neurology. Similarly, if you go to some other subjects like orthopedics, you will include the fundamental science like musculoskeletal anatomy, bone and joints, biomedicals and kinesiology, orthopedic pharmacology, images and physics, etc. And then applied clinical physiology includes the principles of trauma and fracture management, lower limb and pelvic trauma, adult reconstruction, arthroplasty, and similarly all the major orthopedic subsegments included. Likewise, if you go to some other topics like psychiatry, for example, you get to work with the fundamental science and neuroanatomy, psychopharmacology, physiology of topics, research methods and statistics and evidence, schizophrenia, eating and feeding disorders, old age psychiatry and forensic. Similarly, you have almost all the subsegments of each major subjects that have been covered in the MBBS period. This is where I started with the anesthesia. It has 279, almost close to 300 stations. It includes general principles, IV agents, inhalational agents, opioids. For example, if you want to listen about opioids, you can start and play.
Welcome to Anesthesia Compendium. Today's Viva Station, the opioids. I shall take the
An opioid is any substance, natural or synthetic, that acts at opioid receptors, while an opiate refers strictly to the natural alkaloids derived from opium, such as morphine and codeine. Opioid is the broader and now preferred term. The class is classified in two main ways. By origin, naturally occurring alkaloids such as morphine and codeine, semi-synthetic derivatives such as diamorphine, oxycodone and buprenorphine, and synthetic agents.
For example, if you are driving to your work, you can play it in the background in your system by playing it, and if you're coming back from work, you just open and play it in the background and take a small rest. You will continue to hear it like a podcast, and it will gather, or it will help you in long-term memory aspect as well.
What are the endogenous opioids?
The body has its own endogenous opioid peptides, the natural. Understanding them frames the opioids as drugs acting on a pre-existing.
More advantages, and you can go into any topics like critical care, multi-organ dysfunction syndrome.
Welcome to Anesthesia Compendium. Today's Viva Station. Define multi-organ dysfunction syndrome.
Multi-organ dysfunction syndrome, or MODS, is the presence of altered organ function in
video segment.
Multi-organ dysfunction is the principal cause of death in modern intensive care, accounting for the majority of late intensive care mortality, and its burden scales directly with the number of failing organs. Classic data show mortality of roughly 15 to 20% with single organ dysfunction, rising to around 40 to 50% with two organs, and exceeding 70 to 80%, and approaching 100%.
What are the common precipitants and which populations are most at risk?
The commonest precipitant by far is sepsis of any. At its core, MODS reflects a maladaptive, dysregulated host response to an insult rather than the insult itself. Pathogen-associated molecular patterns from microbes and damage-associated molecular patterns from injured tissue, such as.
So as we have seen this here, it will definitely be of useful, and you can learn it any topic at any time at your fingerprint. If you go to library, you get access to all the specialities just with your fingertip. So I hope this is a really interesting and important tool where you have to consider including in your library. Thank you. Bye.